Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Swim Bike Run Alabama. I'm here in studio. No, I'm not in studio. I'm at the Straight to L Brewery.
The live remote.
The live remote here at Straight to L.
And the crowd is building.
Well, it's almost a mass as we speak. But, yeah, this is Swim Bike Run Alabama. We're here today with the special guest from downtown Huntsville, Inc., and that is Chad Emerson. Chad, thanks for being back with us again.
I'm glad to come to the brewery anytime you want me to.
One thing that we talked to Chad about a few weeks ago and something that's coming up this week is Bike Fest. Chad, tell us about Bike Fest.
Yeah, so Saturday, May 16th, the first ever downtown Huntsville Bike Fest. It's part of the larger Super Saturday. Healthy Huntsville is doing a lot of classes, a yoga and cardio classes in the park, having a kind of a health fair. But what we did is got all the bike advocacy groups, there's a bunch of them in town, and said, let's do something that's kind of based on the old Cyclovia concept and do a bunch of different bike events. We're going to shut down Church Street from Williams to Clinton. All right, so we shut it down and have a series of different events. We're going to have a slow ride race.
What's a slow ride race?
So this is really cool. As long as you're moving forward and your feet are not on the ground, the last person to finish wins. How slow can you ride your bike?
So it's the slowest cyclist wins.
That's
Doug
right.
Tinkham, I'm writing your name down even as we speak.
I don't even need to participate. Just give me the trophy.
Now, you got to move and not fall over.
You got to move forward, too. You can't do circles.
Can you drive off the road?
No, there is a path. You have to proceed forward.
I'm out.
It requires great balance.
I'm hedging my bet there.
Yeah, there's no way.
All right, so you had the slow ride.
Slow ride. There's going to be bike polo. There's going to be a demonstration bike polo game. So just imagine polo instead of horses. We're going to use bicycles. There's going to be some bicycle demonstrations. There'll be a tricycle kids race. And then there'll be a bike, what they call it, bike poker. Basically a poker ride to Montesano, 3 Caves, and back.
Okay. Now, is the mayor's ride part of that as well?
Yeah, so that the mayor's ride's at 9 a.m. that morning, kicks it all off, then rolls into Super Saturday Bike Fest. So, our goal is real simple. We want to be the most bike-friendly downtown in the state of Alabama.
How does Huntsville become the most bike-friendly downtown in Alabama?
Make it convenient, safe, and fun to ride your bike in the city center. Okay. So that's slow down traffic, give bicycles a level of comfort, level of safety, and make it really easy to either borrow a bike or rent a bike, and maybe one day, hopefully sooner rather than later, get a bike share program like they do in Chattanooga or now Birmingham.
Part of the Bike Fest, now that's later on in the morning, but what's happening down there early in the morning?
Yes, you get there, it really kicks off with the mayor's bike ride, which I think is a 4-mile or so ride, non-competitive. The mayor always wins, it's his ride. But then you're going to go.
Not if I show up. We're.
I'll take him out.
I'll lead out, and
I'll
Doug
take him
Tinkham will win that thing.
A little hostile takeover for the mayor's bike ride. That's solid. Yeah. I'll see how that works out. There are going to be officers there, though, so just make sure you navigate correctly.
I know a good attorney.
He'll be in handcuffs, pepper sprayed, and crying like a baby.
And that's the plan.
Yeah. That would be a good way to start your Saturday morning. And they're going to go straight into the Healthy Huntsville events. They're going to have a variety of different exercise classes and some exhibits. And we're actually going to have food trucks there. And to participate, every food truck has to have a healthy item for that day only. So some people think of food trucks as tasty, but maybe not always the healthiest food. They're going to replace some of the things and have lettuce wraps and other cool things. So even food trucks can be healthy in that setting.
So you've got a little something for everybody. Families can come out with small kids, big kids, and spend the day down in downtown Huntsville.
Yeah, right there in Big Spring Park, right on Church Street. I'm really excited about bike polo, too. I've seen some YouTube videos of that, and the people that are going to be playing, I think, are pretty serious about it. So you may see a little bit of a very vigorous competition.
What kind of bikes do they use in bike polo?
That's a good question. I've seen it with everything from BMX bikes to mountain bikes. I don't know what the plan is here. The nice thing is all of the different groups from Sorba to the other slow cycle groups and all those kind of things have really organized this. DHI, we've kind of helped from the marketing and promotion, but they've got a lot of tricks up their sleeves. So I don't know exact type of bikes, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I heard that some of the bike shops will be there, and they'll be giving demonstrations as well.
Yeah, you'll be. I think there's 3 or 4 of the bike shops in the city going to be there, and you can ask an expert. What about your bike? You can get some advice on maybe what kind of bike's best for your needs, whether it be a true mountain bike or a hybrid or a crossover.
What kind of bike is best for bike polo?
I think, I'd be guessing like a Tony Hawk kind of BMX type.
There you go.
Something that has, well, never mind. Yeah.
Rotating spikes.
Rotating spikes to take them out. Families can come, I guess, with the picnic and enjoy Big Springs, which is a great place to just hang out with the kids. Or you can have the food truck and you just eat off there, healthy meals, as you say. And you're going to have all day in Huntsville, downtown, enjoy. Well, there's a lot of shops down in Huntsville, too, right?
Yeah, we encourage you, to enjoy the activities and go to Harrison Brother Hardware or Clinton Row or all the other great shops and restaurants down there. You can easily spend a day in downtown, get there in the morning, ride with the mayor, end up with dinner that evening, and you've had a great day at very little cost.
Well, now there's an effort now to create a bike-friendly downtown, and we look forward to expanding that. One thing I guess that shops can do, and coffee shops and places to eat, and that's have bike racks outside.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're really encouraging as new developments open and new businesses open is put different type of bike racks. And it doesn't have to be the same old. Make it a piece of art that doubles as a bike rack. When I was in Montgomery, we did that. We actually, the civil rights or the historic trail, we actually doubled as a bike rack. So.
Okay. Well, Chad Emerson, Downtown Huntsville, Inc., you can go on their website, downtownhuntsville.org, and check out everything that's happening in downtown Huntsville. We appreciate you coming back.
Thank you.
See you soon.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody, to another segment here on Swim Bike Run Alabama. I'm here with my co-host, Doug Tinkham.
Who was supposed to cue you in, so this segment may be a little garbled at the beginning, but
I thought you were waving at me.
I
was
was
that
not,
a wave?
That
you
was
winked?
not a wave.
Did you wink at me?
I did not.
Huh?
I did not.
Is there something in your eye? Is there sawdust in your eye?
Perhaps
I saw
a tear
wink.
now.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Hey, Doug, we're here again with Chad Emerson from Downtown Huntsville, Inc. And as everyone remembers, Chad is the CEO of downtownhuntsville.org. Or what's your full title?
Downtown Huntsville, Inc.
Downtown Huntsville, Inc., but downtownhuntsville.org is where you find us.
There you go. All right, so he's the CEO of that, and Chad's been working to bring a lot of exciting things to downtown Huntsville from Montgomery. Worked down there before. And one thing I'd like to talk to you about today is the Green Street Market, which I think is a fabulous thing for downtown Huntsville. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think Green Street, which starts the first Thursday in May, 4 to 8 p.m., it's not even really a farmer's market. We call it an artisan market because in addition to all the great local products, local farm products, you can get hummus, you can get piper and leaf tea, you can get a lot of great things. We think it's the best artisan market in the state of Alabama.
Oh, I agree with you. I go there quite often. We go down, we get cheese from local farms, we get honey from local farms, we get produce from local farms. They'll have candles. They'll just have all kinds of products. And why not buy locally and support local farmers and local artisans?
That's exactly. And so one of the cool things about Green Street Market is that in addition to be local friendly, it's one of the most bike friendly markets you'll find anywhere in the state.
What makes it bike friendly?
A couple of things. First of all, good cue, by the way.
Hey, that's it. We're professionals.
Here's the softball. Hit it out of the park.
Swing. So the first thing is people don't realize if you ride your bike to the market and you go to the information tent, they'll give you a coupon for $1 off. They actually will incentivize you to ride your bike. And then we're real excited to partner with the Montgomery County Commission this year to provide Thursday night bikes, which is the second annual. Every Thursday between market hours, 4 to 8, all you have to do is this. It's real simple. Bring your license, sign a waiver. We'll hand you a bicycle, one of the region's bikes. You can ride around during market hours, no cost.
And those bikes are great for people who are remember how to ride, but they don't have a bike of their own. They're bike friendly, pedal friendly, and you can go downtown in 5 points and look at all.
You can go anywhere you can get as long as you get back by 8 p.m. Yeah. So we see a lot of people ride through Twickenham and Old Town, 5 Points, Big Spring Park. We're very the city is very, very open about where you ride your bikes downtown. We tell people that our goal right now, our stated goal is to be the most bike-friendly downtown in the state of Alabama, and borrow a bike for free at Green Street Market and go explore it. And that's one of the things that we think is really helping us get in that direction.
Well, I think, the historical district downtown, like you said, Twickenham and all, if you can ride through there and just not be in a car and be in a hurry, but get to take your time and see all the old houses, that's a cool way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of walking tours and there's bus tours, but we actually, and the other thing you can do, I'll mention real quick, is if you have a group, a civic organization, or your company, we've had several say is, we're going to do a company bike ride. And we'll give you all, there's 10 bikes, we'll let you borrow all 10. And so you can take your employees out and do a company ride, kind of a morale, employer boosting type thing. So if you want to do that, or your local charity, or maybe you could do a Swim Bike Run Alabama bike ride during Green Street Market one day and tape your show as you're riding bikes.
That sounds like a great idea. And we have the capacity, I guess, to tape from a brewery, so we could probably tape from a bike.
I would think Chad would have a hard time balancing you on the handlebars and all your equipment, Doug, but it's possible.
It'd be pretty unique.
So we're going to go down to Green Street Market, and we're going to buy some fresh bread. We're going to find some local honey, and we're going to get some folks down there. Very crowded most of the time, so there's a big following already for Green Street Market.
Yeah, and you really, when it kicks off in May, I mean, people have been pent up since last October, ready to meet these artisans again, buy their products. The Green Street Market store is open all year round, but it's really become a place to just meet people and see people and have a good time. Dog-friendly, free live music, and, of course, the free bike borrow. 2
words for you, Doug. Goat cheese. I'm ready,
I like
man.
the goat cheese.
I've been missing the goat cheese. Chad Emerson, Downtown Huntsville, Inc. Go on their website, downtownhuntsville.org. See everything that's happening in Huntsville, Alabama. You're doing a great job, Chad, and we appreciate you coming in and seeing us. Doug, we'll be back right after these messages.
Right after these messages. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everybody, to another segment here on Swim Bike Run Alabama, and we're sponsored by Straight to Ale Brewery. And
not only sponsored by, but sitting in Straight to Ale Brewery.
If you have not toured Straight to Ale Brewery on Lehman Ferry Road in Huntsville, do yourself a favor and come down. It's a fantastic place to visit. You have a brewery here, and you can watch them can beer. You can watch the whole process.
You can watch his podcast.
And you can watch his podcast on Wednesdays. So come on down and watch his tape next week. But today we have a special guest in this segment, Bradley Dean from the Renaissance Man. Bradley, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. Excited to be sipping on a beer in this awesome place, talking to you guys about triathlon.
Well, last year, first year for the Renaissance Man over in Florence, Alabama, a fantastic event. Tell us a little bit about the creation of the Renaissance Man.
Well, I would go participate in triathlons across the southeast and come home and be bummed that we didn't have one. And we have a wonderful location for it. So
one of the best, really. That's
right.
A fantastic venue.
So instead of complaining about it, I decided to do something about it, and we started the Renaissance Man Triathlon. It's in Florence, Alabama, the Renaissance city of Alabama, so thus the name Renaissance Man was born. And since man is popular, Iron Man, Rocket Man, so we just rolled with that.
Okay. Now, the swim and the transition and the start of the race is located where?
In McFarland Park. It's just a little way away from the heart of downtown Florence. You swim in the Tennessee River, just in the locked channel of the Tennessee River, where it's really, really calm. It's actually, a lot of the swimmers gave me a lot of great feedback on how calm the water was actually in that area because of the locked channel and the dam being turned off or to its lowest flow. So we got a lot of great feedback on the swim portion right there.
Last year, it seems like you had a kayaker per swimmer, even though it was a huge event. You had a lot of water support last year.
We were scared, That's the biggest part of the triathlon safety-wise is securing that swim. And
I think you had more kayakers than you did swimmers at one point.
Very possible, but I'd much rather that be the case than lose somebody out there.
I think when I finally got out of the water, I think I had 13 kayakers around me. It was a parade of safety.
Well, when you're last, there's no one else to watch. Now you had a pretty good swim, didn't you?
Well,
I didn't have a good swim.
Yeah, bad swim.
I want to pat Doug on the back. He came out of the mist that morning to help us pull that event off. So I'm extremely grateful
for a free entry.
Well, I heard that the race director went down hard. Now, Doug, have you ever been to a triathlon when the race director hogs all the IV fluids?
I've been to a event where the race director got so mad he became non-functioning.
Oh, non-functional, yes.
Yeah.
Race directing is something very unique that most folks don't realize the work and the time, the effort, and the stress that goes into it.
Yes, and it was hot, and underestimated
hydration.
Yes, I was preaching it to the athletes and didn't do it myself, and I should have known better, and they got me.
Well, and you had plenty of hydration out there for the athletes, so that's a great thing. I know you'll have it again this year. I would say that the hills are rolling hills, but not a big steep climb throughout. A beautiful place to bike, though, there on the course.
Yes, it's got its challenges, but it rewards you there at the end, and it goes super fast. The guy that won it this last year, the overall winner, set up some pretty fast speeds. So
he's a fast guy.
He's a fast
Chris
guy.
Borden.
Chris Borden is fast.
If you guys wonder what that sound is in the background, it's the canning of beer.
Can never complain about that.
No, you can't.
So you have a very scenic bike course, and then I think, to be honest with you, a run course that probably rivals Lake Gunnersville Triathlon in that it's a very tough run course.
It is. You got a little time to shake out your legs, but then it hits you with a hill. But then it levels off, and you get into downtown Florence. You see the campus. You see lions. You see a Frank Lloyd Wright house, which is beautiful.
That's an awesome feature to that race.
And there's very few races where you get to see that kind of scenic stuff, but it will challenge you. And I think that's part of what makes it. You have to earn the Renaissance Man name.
Well, I think you don't want a cookie cutter or flat course. You want something as an athlete that challenges you, and so you've got that at the Renaissance Man. Tell us this year about the special qualifier status that Renaissance Man has for USAT.
Right, so USAT, we're a USAT-sanctioned event, and this year we're going to be at the Southeastern special qualifier for the Olympic distance. So if you can't make Chattanooga's race, you can come to Florence and race ours and get to the national championship if you qualify.
Where's the national
I
championship
think it's in
at?
Milwaukee this year.
You are absolutely correct. It is in Milwaukee this year. A special qualifier, Doug, I can tell you, is you finish in the top 33% of your age group, and that qualifies you to go nationals. Several years ago, I did that, and it was in Tuscaloosa. But the last couple of years, it's been in Milwaukee.
I remember that race in Tuscaloosa.
I'll never speak about that again, sir.
No?
That was brutal. It was. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was a tough course, but we're talking about the Renaissance Man. So top third of your age group, you get to go to the nationals. It's right here in our backyard. It's an hour away from us. Everybody in Alabama, North Georgia, and Southern Tennessee should come to this event just because it's a national qualifier.
Right, and root your local athletes on, that want to get to that next level.
There's a lot of cool restaurants in Florence, a lot of cool places to stay. You can make a weekend of it for sure with the family.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've got, I know last year in the goodie bag you had a lot of coupons for local merchants, so you have merchant support as well.
Yes, we've got a lot of people buying in on that, and it's awesome to have community support. The local tourism office is helping us out this year. Cliff Bar just became a sponsor, so everybody's going to get some Cliff Bars. Fleet Feet, the Spinning Spoke Cycle Hub there in Florence has been very helpful to us, and the volunteer effort, which is the biggest portion of what I need help with as far as a race director, is getting those volunteers. They're the Achilles heel of a good race director.
How does someone register now for your race, the Renaissance Man?
You just go to our website, Google Renaissance Man Triathlon or ShoalsTri.com, and then there's a link there to register on I Am Athlete.
We'll also put a link on the YouTube. It will not be on the podcast and radio broadcast, of course, but go see our YouTube. Check it out, and you can see all this beautiful beer.
Can you give us a little discount, a little something for the folks if they register?
Yeah, I would love to offer $10 off of any registration.
$10.
Use the code podcast, and that'll get you $10 off.
So when you're registering on IamAthlete.com for the Renaissance Man, and the Renaissance Man will be when?
It is July 12th, Sunday, July 12th.
Sunday, July 12th. Go on I'm Athlete, register, use podcast and the discount code. That gets you $10 off. Go to a national qualifier right here in our backyard, and it'll be a great race.
Yeah, thank y'all so much, and thank y'all for what y'all are doing to support triathlon in this area. It's
Bradley,
awesome.
appreciate you coming here. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Bradley.
We'll be back right after these messages on Swim, Bike, Run, Alabama. Welcome back, everybody, to another segment here on Swim, Bike, Run, Alabama. We're here at the Straight to Ale Brewery on Lehman Ferry Road, our primary sponsor, and a fantastic beer, I would say. I'm here with Doug Tinkham, my co-host, beer connoisseur.
Our good friend Matt Broadhurst, who invited us here, is running the canner at the moment. So we hope to talk to him later. But
if the camera could swing around, and I say that because we have no cameraman, but if the camera could swing around, you would see just the workings of a microbrewery. They have tours here.
We can
on
probably do that
Saturday.
real quick.
Well, no, that's too much to ask. We'll do it later, but come down here to see Straight to Ale's workings there with Microbrew. It's really a cool thing to see. But our special guest on this segment is Chris Levin from Bicycle Cove. Chris, thanks for being here again.
Thanks, guys.
Chris was our sponsor, a bike sponsor at Lake Gunnersville Triathlon over the weekend. Chris, we appreciate Bicycle Cove stepping up and helping us with that. It made the difference in the event.
Oh, it's always been a great event. We've been there, I guess, since the start a few years ago, and we always like being a part of it. You guys do a fantastic job.
You know, there's just a moment of silence because Chris Levin had the record on the hill climb for about 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and then
right.
it was destroyed. Sorry, Chris.
No, I knew that as soon as I knew that Dave Purinton was going to step up and do it, it was a goner, and it was a goner by a long shot.
So we had a 2-mile climbing time trial, 2.1 miles or so, and it was up from the beach area to the lodge. Chris did it several weeks ago and set the bar high,
He
thought.
set it very high.
And he told us it was a 24% grade at one point, which makes most people walk.
24% is incredibly steep. I mean, you have to do everything you can to get your bike up something that steep, and it is. You definitely know you climb something hard when you get done. It's very rewarding too.
So we put it out
Rewarding.
there.
That's awesome. Rewarding.
After the tears.
I had a good day today.
So Bicycle Cove, a great sponsor of local events. Tell us a little bit about your store. Where's it located?
So Bicycle Cove is the easiest way to get to us is to take 431 south from downtown Huntsville, and you go up and over Montesano, and we're at the base of the mountain as you head into the big cove area on the left-hand side. So I guess from downtown it's about a 10-minute drive south towards Gunnersville.
And you all have a huge shop down there with plenty of bikes.
Yeah, we've got 6,000 square feet, and 5,000 of it's dedicated to bikes. And I'd say, peak season, which is right now, we probably have 125 bikes on the sales floor.
You know, Doug, the one thing I've heard about Bicycle Cove that people really talk about, and that is they will give you the time when your bike's going to be ready, and then they email you when the bike is ready.
Yeah, we are very fortunate that we've got two incredibly talented mechanics. That's Parker and Nick. And they worked really hard last year to implement our 48-hour turnaround, which means you bring your bike to us. As long as you don't need to get anything obscure, you're going to get your bike back in 2 days tops. And most of the time, it's a day.
You know, if you break a spoke or something on Wednesday, you want to be riding the weekend.
Why did you look at me when you said break a spoke?
No reason.
The only spoke I've ever broken was when I drove over with my car, I'll have you know.
Is that a catastrophic break when someone forgets to pick up their wheel and drives over it?
I would say that would be very bad.
My first thought was someone had stolen my wheel. I was like, I can't believe somebody took it. And then that chill went up my spine, and I got out of the car. I was parked on it.
We were talking a little bit ago about the hill climb at Lake G, and that brings up an interesting topic for me, and that's the rear cassette. Mm-hmm. What's the trend now in cycling as far as the number of gears or the what's new in cycling?
So we moved to 11 speeds on the rear wheel, and I want to say it's probably been about 3 or 4 years now. And the benefit of the 11th cog is it allows you to have some lower gearing without sacrificing the gears you use most of the time, which is right in the middle of the cassette, like around your fourth or fifth gear. And the beauty of that is you can continue to ride the same gearing you do up front, but you can get something a little bit easier on the hills. And it's actually pretty interesting to see because, a lot of the guys in the pro peloton who are used to riding these crazy small cassette sizes, and it's just mind-boggling that they're able to get up and over some of the hills, have actually increased their gear options and gone with some lower gears because they can do that now.
So this it's more, I guess, gives you more gear for a more rounded ride. You know, you don't have to just be, I guess, on the flats or not geared just for the mountains, but you got something in between.
Yeah, what used to happen is you would have a specific cassettes for flat terrain, specific cassettes for climbing or hilly terrain. Now you can pretty much get away with just one, which, makes life easier for the mechanic, and it makes life easier for the bike because there's not all that adjustment that has to go on every time you make a change.
When I guess for your typical rider, too, they don't have maybe 2 or 3 sets of cassettes there to go in and out of, so they can use just one.
I'll have you know I have 3 cassettes.
2 of them gathering dust on the shelf at home.
No, 3 of them are gathering dust at the moment.
Well, actually, Doug is able to change the rear cassette, so he's
quite proficiently.
Yeah,
it's a handy skill.
Yeah,
it is.
Now
take it on the road.
Of course, it takes away from your shop, and so how dare you, sir, do that? But actually, Doug's helped me out before on my rear cassette. So that you got the 11, and what other innovations do you see as far as gearing?
I think we're pretty much stuck on 11 speeds because when 11 speed came out, it did have to fit in a wider space. So if you had older wheels that were not compatible, they will not work. And so if anything gets different, if gearing gets expanded to 12 speed, for example, you're probably going to have to start changing some frame dimensions at this point. I think they've maxed out that capacity. So right now with gearing, we're pretty much stuck with 11, and this stuff is amazing. And that's true across all brands.
Do you see the 10-speed coming down in price or not for us bargain shoppers?
It's interesting because now that we're pretty much knee-deep in 11-speed stuff, and your other brands, your Shimano's, your SRAMs, your Campagnolo, they continue to manufacture 10-speed, but on a limited scale, so not really. I mean, it still pretty much stays at the same price because they only offer it at the low end or at the higher end at the Ultegra level for Shimano example. So it's still expensive.
Now, I know that Bicycle Cove has a Thursday night ride that they put on from the bike shop.
We actually we've changed it up. We actually started doing a what we call our pizza ride, and we're doing it once a month. We found it to be a little challenging to ride from our parking lot because of 431. And so we started leaving from the Greenway down in Hampton Cove behind the Publix. And so we were able to do our first one this past Monday because the first one was rained out. Awesome turnout. We had 30 people out there. Killer ride. The weather was absolutely perfect. No wind, which is rare down in that part of the world. And we all came back, shared some beers, and had some pizza. It was great. So we're going to do this the first Monday of every month through the season.
Okay. And so the Greenway there, if you are in Hampton Cove.
Would you like me to give directions?
I would. Go ahead. So you go to Hampton Cove, you go down by the ball fields, turn right, and you go past the ball fields, and immediately on your right, maybe a mile down the road.
So we're setting up shop to leave from the Greenway parking lot behind or at the Tortora's parking lot, which is right there off Old 431.
Oh, okay, so you don't even go down to the ball field, so that's easy for everybody.
Easy to get to, and the ride is relatively flat. So
okay. And so you all have different distances, I imagine, that you can go and different speeds for those folks that want to come out and ride with you.
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think the average for the front group was around 18.5 miles an hour. We had somebody sweeping a slower group, and then we had several people show up just to ride the Greenway. Okay. So if you ride a bike and you want to be social, come on down.
All right. And that's a great way to check out new products, the 11 speeds and such. Go down and see Jessica and Chris and the crew down at Bicycle Cove on 431 South in Huntsville, and they'll fix you up. Yeah. Chris, thanks for being here again, and we look forward to every time you come on to educating us a little bit about cycling.
Thanks so much, guys. It's always a blast.
We'll be back after these messages here on Swim Bike Run Alabama.
This was the best location, wasn't it?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. We're still recording.
Oh.
We're just filling time.
We'll see everybody next week.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody, to another segment here on Swim Bike Run Alabama. I am Parker Edenston, and I've got my co-host and good friend Doug Tinkham with me.
Hello. And we've got Dana. DeBartoleben.
Or Dana D.
Dana D.
You know, on Jeopardy, Man, you would score huge on the vows, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd score huge.
That's right.
Dana D's here with us, and she's going to talk to us today about the Mountain Dew. Dana, what's a Mountain Dew?
Well, Mountain Dew's a drink, or it is the area's only aquathlon. It is a trail run pool swim. It's a very unique race because you've got running on the land trust trails, and then you've got to swim in a salt water pool at the Mountain Springs Pool.
All right, so it's going to be May 30th this year.
May the 30th of this year.
And you're going to sign up how?
Sign-ups are on Ultra Sign Up, or you can go to the website.
Ultra Sign Up.
Ultra Sign Up, or the Mountain Dew website, which is Mountain Dew, DEAUX, meaning .org.
Dose. For
Mountain
Spanish.
Dose.
As opposed to water that's congregated on plants in the morning.
Exactly.
I'm an agronomist.
This is the only aquathon in the area, right?
That's right,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and again, the thing that makes it so special is that it's a trail run and a pool swim, and it's for all ages.
Do you have to shower off before you get into the water?
Oh, my goodness. Last year, it was so unbelievably muddy because it had stormed. We had sprayers. We had people spraying, trying to get mud off before they got into the pool.
So the answer would be yes.
Hopefully not this year.
What about
Hopefully
dust?
it's going to be beautiful. Dust is fine.
Okay.
So they're going to go on the website. They're going to register. They're going to be there on May 30th. Do you also have a run-through this year, like a practice?
We actually have 2 run-throughs. The first one is Saturday, May the 9th, this Saturday at 3 o'clock at the Mountain Springs Pool.
You know, yesterday morning, I think I saw them out there at the pool.
They are getting ready.
You were at the pool?
Yesterday.
Kudos.
I swam, I wanted to go on this, and I knew that was the first one, and the second one is when?
The second one is May the 21st.
All right.
I used to swim.
You're a great swimmer, Doug. And so
I know
folks
you
can
are.
get comfortable with one, running on the trails and then jumping in a salt water. That's the only saltwater swim I know of as well.
I think you're right. And not only that, the race benefits the land trust.
Well, if we can get Miss Kathy over here, Kathy can tell us about the land trust.
Kathy. Yeah, because the land trust does so many different things. I am not the best person to talk about that.
Okay. So we have with us Kathy Main, and Kathy Main is with the land trust. And Kathy Main, you tell us, what is the land trust?
The Land Trust is a nonprofit organization. We protect wildlife habitat, freshwater resources. We have the Montesano Nature Preserve that is the green backdrop for the city of Huntsville. We have 48 miles of trails for people to enjoy. All these runner folk need to be members of the Land Trust because they love our trails.
Well, that's the land is something we need to
trust
secure and trust, but it's something, hey, we play in it.
We do.
These folks
Absolutely.
give us an opportunity to continue playing outside.
How do we become members of the Land
You can
Trust?
go to Land Trust website, www.landtrustnal, which stands for North Alabama, .org.
I'm going to write that down so I
Absolutely.
can put it on the website.
Everybody that goes to the Montesano State Park, put your money in the little gizmo, and you can do the same with Land Trust Trails. But we have 3 caves also, which a lot of people enjoy.
I hear all the time about the concerts at 3 Caves, and what's going on with that?
The next concert's going to be May 30th, the evening after Mountain Dew. So it's going to be kind of wild up there. But it's Eric Darius. He's a saxophonist. We have some other events. Oh, golly, we'll have to come back and talk about that, too, if we may.
We'd love to have you back. So someone
you.
who wants to do the race that morning, they go out and they do the trail run and the saltwater swim, and then they shower and do all their thing, and they come out what
Yes.
time for the concert?
Concert begins at 7 o'clock.
And how do they get tickets to that?
You can go to our website again and
What's the website name?
landtrustnal.org.
Wow, is that easy?
You're an easy group to enjoy.
Well, listen, Kathy, we
Thank you.
appreciate it that you've been here today, and we know that the Land Trust does everything great for preserving land for use for everyone.
We do try. Thank you very much for having us.
Well, we'll be back right after these messages on another segment of Swim. I want to
We're live, but I can
say
edit.
hello
I can
to
edit
you.
this out.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another segment on Swim Bike Run Alabama. We're here at the Straight to L Microbrewery on Lehman Ferry Road, and we have with us the most special of special guests, and that's Matt Broadhurst from Straight to L.
I appreciate you calling me special. It's kind of nice to have you guys here because I know I've come down to the station with you guys, and I'm pretty sure you guys thought I didn't actually do anything.
No, you've been working today.
I'm pretty sure
we saw it.
I'm sweating right now.
You are sweating.
I tell you what, we've been here a couple hours now, and you have been nonstop working.
It's go time right now, man. We're canning, we're bottling, beers being brewed. Plus we've got
You just had a 5th anniversary?
5th anniversary. That's what we're drinking on right now.
That was yesterday, correct?
May 1st was our first anniversary.
Sorry, I missed it by a few days.
Well, we so did we.
So you have a special brew that you're sharing with us. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so for our 5th anniversary, oddly enough, our 5th anniversary, we never did an anniversary beer until our 4th anniversary, which was last year. This year we decided to do a 5th anniversary beer. It's a Belgian quadruple. Lots of brown sugar, lots of dark fruits, easy on the palate, high ABV. It comes in around 11.7%.
Now, I have a 25th anniversary coming up. What would the beer be for that?
Golden Triple.
My wife last year celebrated what she says is her last anniversary, so I don't know if that means anything.
Well, she's going to start building new anniversaries.
Oh, okay.
Anniversaries
Start with
without
number
you.
1. Start with number 2. Yeah. I don't know if I'm invited.
No.
I won't be in that picture?
No, it's a gone-away party.
Okay. So you got this, which is a fantastic beer.
Very good.
How do y'all come up with your recipes or your ideas about brew?
So on this one in particular, Drew, our head brewer, has been playing with this brewer supposedly for 3 years as a home brewer. He did a small batch here. We tasted it, and Dan Perry, our owner, tasted it and said, "Man, this is 5th anniversary beer." So we went from a half barrel to we did 60 barrels of it.
Well, y'all have had competitions before with employees and have invited folks from the community to come in with their micro brews or their home brews, rather. Mm-hmm. And how does that work?
So actually, this week is Rock City Brew Fest. Mm-hmm. The weekend after that is our 3rd annual Homebrew Fest, if I remember the numbers right. It's where we actually bring in local homebrewers. They brew in our system. We license everything through the brewery. And then we invite everybody to come in. It's $1 a ticket. You get a pour for $1. Whoever wins, we go large scale with the brew. Favorite.
Now, hold on a second. Now, you're telling me that the home brewer comes in here and uses your equipment, and you license it through the state, and then whoever wins that competition gets a beer marketed through Straight to L.
Leica, Hellfire, all those beers started with local homebrewers.
Wow.
Speaking of Leica, I would like to be a judge in that competition.
So yeah, it's a huge amount of fun. It's a great time. I actually, unfortunately, won't be here. This will be the first year I won't be here. I know. I got to go to Illinois.
Matt did not take that pitch, and what he told you is for $1 a ticket, you, sir, can be a judge.
Well, we can always, for a special guest, we work out some arrangements.
All right.
But it's great fun, man. 2 years ago, Jason Sled, who's working on Green Bus Brewing, did a watermelon wheat. We did that the last 2 years. Fantastic beer. This year we'll see who wins and see what we do.
Our timing device is reading 3:55 for you, Mr. Edmiston.
Thank you, sir.
It's right here.
All right. And so do you find that most microbrews, or is that just something special here with Straight to L, that most concepts or more beers are produced through home brewing and the concept is started there?
Well, we started with it. Home brewing was illegal in Alabama until 2 years ago. So we did it kind of bring the people in, let them do it legally, let people kind of see what home brewing was really all about. The legislator, they passed the bill. You can now home brew in Alabama, but it's so much fun not to do that we just keep doing it. We like to taste everybody else's beers. We like to see what other people are thinking. So for us, it's just a good time. It's fun. It's a great day. The day that they come in and homebrew, it's nothing but fun.
What's the ratio of really good beers to really bad beers?
I don't think I've ever had a bad beer at our homebrew fest. I think everything's different. It's just different enough. It's small batch, so you're going to have little quirks and stuff to it.
Sure.
But, man, I've had some phenomenal beers, and I've never had one where I've just been like, I can't drink
I just know with muscadine wine, everyone says, I know it's terrible, but mine's great.
So
and it never is.
Did you try our Brojo on muscadine?
I have not.
So for Brewfest this year, we're bringing out some specialty barrel stuff. We have a Brother Joseph's aged on muscadine.
Oh, I have to try that.
We have a sneak peek of it on the tap room. You have to get a taste before you go.
That might be the first muscadine alcoholic beverage
really
I enjoy.
Good. Really good.
So the 5-year, how do you see? Of course, Straight to Hell is just blowing up nationwide, Southeast especially. Where do you see Straight to Hell going in the future?
You know, our goal is to be a Southern brewer. You know, we're already in Mississippi. We're in Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Panhandle, Florida. We're going to fill out the rest of Georgia. We're going to fill out the rest of Florida, and then we'll work our way into the Carolinas, and then we're done. That's exactly where we want to be.
World domination.
Eventually. Southern domination. Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but I think that Doug and I were part of some sort of a record over the weekend.
I think we did.
We were. What was it? 366 beers in less than 2 hours?
The first customer came up and looked at him, looked at his coolers, and said, have you ever been to one of these before?
You're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. So, yeah.
I kind of felt bad. You had me set up next to, I think, your sister, isn't it, that was doing the margarita.
All right, let me interrupt you. We're going to cut off and thank everybody for listening, and then we're going to continue talking, and you can hear this on our podcast and our YouTube. So continue on, please. No, we're good.
So you were set up?
We're not at the studio. I don't have to stop for a second.
No, we're on our own time.
So you set me up next to your sister, and she was doing like margaritas and snow cones, and I felt bad for her because I was just like beer, and there, margarita. Oh, okay.
A non-alcoholic margarita.
Yeah, it was non-alcoholic.
If anyone is listening from the state, there was no alcohol contained in the margaritas.
There was none. I can vouch.
I've never heard of that kind of margarita.
Our next sponsor, AAA Bell Bonding. Get my sister out of the hooch or out of the jail.
But margarita flavored.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I should. But man, the amount of beer I gave out that it was insane. I thought it was going to be there till like 4 o'clock. Honestly, no.
No, and they're so triathletes are an odd bunch in that. They get off a run and they are a little timid about, well, I think I'll just take a sip of this. I don't know if my gut will take it.
2 minutes later.
2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the funny thing. So, Brother Joseph's, our Belgian Double, which we would normally never bring to an event like that. It's just higher ABV. It's not everybody's cup of tea. That was the first thing to go. And then I was like, really? Yeah. But what I realized is they were like, one person would get a Sand Island. They'll let their friend sip it. And they're like, yeah, that's good. What else do you have? So it was just Brother Joseph's just gone.
There wasn't an empty can or a can with any in it when we threw them away.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean,
I had
they
people,
wiped you out and cleaned them out.
Yeah,
some were turned inside out.
I had people bringing them to me. I'm like, I'll recycle those if you give them to me. Just stack them in the case. So I brought back, I think, 5 empty cases of cans that we recycled.
Yeah. And the good thing is it started about 10 a.m. or 10:30?
10:30, I think we had the beer.
They wouldn't let him in the gate. Yeah. I said, tell him who you are. He said, they still won't let me in.
I wasn't sure how that was going to work there, and I pulled up. There were like 4 cops. And they're like looking in the back of my car. They're like, what are you here for? I'm like, well, I'm one of the vendors. We're here to sponsor. And they're like, okay, come on through. But then I got down. They're like, no, you can't go through here. And I'm like, but I have beer.
So he called me for directions.
I did. Yeah. But he was in a worse position than I was, so it ended up all right.
So I know you met a lot of triathletes. First time maybe you've been around a triathlon, and I heard you say something that you've talked to a lot of triathletes who were not from the area, but who were in areas that now have Straight to Hell beer.
Yeah. You guys apparently had a huge Georgia crowd there. You had a lot of people from Atlanta. I know this because I checked everybody's IDs. But they'd pull out their IDs. I'm like, oh, you're in Atlanta. They're like, man, I wish we get Straight to Hell in Atlanta. I'm like, you can.
You've got it.
I'm like, it's everywhere in Atlanta. Yeah. I'm like, try not to find it. You just didn't know it was there.
Yeah. Sure.
But so, yeah, you guys had people from Tennessee, Atlanta, Mississippi. You guys had a great crowd there. You really did.
Yeah, we had probably 300 athletes. We've got a training camp in July up in Chattanooga. And love to have Straight Dale up there
Yeah, we
representing.
haven't talked with Matt about that.
Yeah.
We will be there. We distribute in Chattanooga. We will be there.
Excellent.
They've got a huge triathlon community up in Chattanooga. They have Chattanooga Tri Club. They have the Chattanooga Multisport. And
What doesn't Chattanooga have?
Chattanooga's a great
cool city.
town.
It is a cool
is
city.
a great city.
And, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not. They have done an excellent job.
Yeah, it's
of
changed quite a
rebuilding.
bit. It's
And
great.
Huntsville's catching
Huntsville,
up.
they sure
Huntsville's
are.
like
Chad.
5 to 8 years behind Chattanooga
Yeah,
as
they're
far
moving
as
now.
where they're going.
Yeah.
But Chattanooga's, we as a brewery, we love Chatty. And that's actually, we try to take a trip every year. Last year we went out to Asheville. This year we're like, let's just go to Chatty. It's close. It's a lot of fun.
We happened into a beer fest. I think we had done a training ride, and they were setting up, but they weren't open yet. You have never seen a man beg for more beer.
Oh, please, mister, give me a beer.
We had a cooler full, but he wanted a free one.
Well, you know what I had?
Rejected.
You know what I had in my cooler? Straight Dale beer.
Straight Dale, heck
there you
yeah.
go, baby.
Well, this year I'll bring the straight tail.
All right. Matt, hey, we have the Chattanooga half Ironman coming up in a couple weeks. I thought we should set up a tent and have some Straight Dale brew up there. Cool.
I'll have to clear that with the family.
Well, I'm sure they'll be up there with us. So it'll be a family adventure. Matt, we appreciate it. We appreciate all that Straight Dale does for us.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks for coming and doing this
great.
today. It's great.
We're looking
Can
forward
we
to
come next week?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right.
You heard it, folks.
Next week is better than this week.
All right.
Excellent.
Everybody, we look forward to seeing you, and please share this podcast, and we'll see everybody next week on Swim, Bike, Run, Alabama.